Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI. In this analysis, we're diving into the key predictions Elon Musk made during a recent, really insightful interview with Peter Diamandis on his YouTube channel. We'll be dissecting his vision for artificial intelligence and robotics. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the current acceleration in AI, what he calls the hard takeoff. Then we'll look at the production timeline for the Optimus robot, the predicted economic boom, a new concept called universal high income, and finally, we'll touch on the long-term implications of the singularity.
All right, let's begin by examining what Musk means when he talks about this present-day acceleration of AI's capabilities.
Okay, so a foundational concept to really grasp here is recursive self-improvement. Musk argues this is already happening. Essentially, it's a process where AI models are used to build their even more capable successors, meaning humans are becoming less and less involved in that innovation loop.
And this leads to his very direct assessment. He says, quote, "We're in the hard takeoff. Okay, right now." So in his view, we're not just approaching some future AI acceleration, we are right in the middle of it. The constant stream of breakthroughs we're seeing is the evidence.
Now, let's pivot to how this incredible intelligence is expected to show up in the physical world. And that brings us, of course, to robotics, and specifically the Optimus project.
Musk lays out a very specific and frankly ambitious timeline for the Optimus humanoid robot. He states that initial production is set to begin this summer. A year from then, next summer, they expect to be in high-volume production, and the goal is to release a new, improved design every single year.
So, when you combine this rapidly advancing AI with a potential workforce of humanoid robots, you arrive at Musk's predictions for an absolutely unprecedented economic transformation. He is projecting a tenfold expansion of our current global economy, and maybe even more critically, he sees this happening within a pretty short time frame, just the next 10 years.
Now, that might sound like a wild forecast, but Musk himself frames it not as some speculative guess, but as, in his words, a fairly comfortable prediction. He does add one very important caveat, though. This assumes that we don't have major geopolitical conflicts that could derail these technological trends.
A productivity increase of that magnitude would, of course, fundamentally change our economic structures. And this leads to Musk's vision for how wealth and resources might be distributed in this future.
This is where he makes a really key distinction. Most of us have heard of universal basic income, or UBI, but Musk talks about universal high income, UHI. UBI is a government safety net. UHI, on the other hand, describes a future state of such radical abundance that money itself just becomes less relevant.
So how does that happen? Well, he theorizes that AI and robotics will generate goods and services so quickly and so cheaply that their output completely outpaces the money supply. This would trigger massive deflation, making not just essentials but also luxuries widely and easily accessible to pretty much everyone.
And finally, this all leads to the more long-term, philosophical part of the conversation. What are the implications of creating an intelligence that is just vastly superior to our own?
This is really the central question behind the concept of the technological singularity. It's this hypothetical point where technological growth becomes so rapid and uncontrollable that it results in totally unforeseeable changes to human civilization.
And Musk pretty much concedes that, by its very nature, the outcome is impossible to know. He says it's called the singularity for a reason. It's hard to predict what happens. The term itself implies we're looking at an event horizon, beyond which our current models for understanding the world just break down.
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. We encourage you to subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and share this video to help us reach a wider audience.